Opposite, I'm here to stop you. Then the supervillain came at me all, I'm surrender, I'm a knight, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I'm good at perseverance. And then Dr. Opposite was like, man, take this. So I need surrender. I stand under these huge boulders. Like a contest, you know? But then I had last minute, and I won. Then I grabbed this and ran off.
Wow, this is so cool! I wonder what it is. I bet it's a power supply. I don't know, I think it's like a targeting device.
No, it came off the front. It's definitely a heat shield.
Actually, it's a transduplication modifier.
Oh, nerd boy. How long have you been here? Sheldon, sorry. We didn't see you when we walked in.
That's okay, Teresa. I came in early to do a little research on the piece of the ring on the jack bar back last night.
Yeah, what'd you say it was again? Transporter modder?
Transduplicating modifier.
So, what does it do?
Let me show you. The transduplicating modifier. I knew I'd seen it somewhere before. Remember when Marshmallow Man had to come up and take the city a couple months ago?
Ooh, yeah. He had this gun thing that produced marshmallow fluff out of, like, nowhere. It was so sticky.
Out of nowhere, exactly. The transduplicating modifier does whatever the machine does tenfold. And in the Marshmallow Man's case, it was making marshmallow fluff.
What's his Dr. Opposite need?
I'm still working on that.
Well, you've done excellent work so far, Sheldon. I just heard your preview. I was just completing my notes on the TDM and was coming up to brief you on it, but it seems you've beaten me to the punch.
Oh, sorry, Professor.
Nonsense, you've done splendidly. And of course, you're showing your virtue quite well.
His virtue? Nerd boy has a core virtue too now. It's like we're just giving away virtues. Awesome.
Of course, Sheldon has a virtue. We all do. We do well to look on your own.
Kindness. Whatever, Professor. You'll have more luck getting Dr. Opposite through the cha-cha slide than you will getting Chloe to act kindly.
Well, nevertheless, Sheldon is doing an excellent job of showing the virtue of initiative.
Initiative? What's that?
It's
Initiative. Seeing what needs to be done and doing it. Professor.
But nothing. Very good, Dr. Trump. I mean, Mr. Trump, my bad. Anyways, you are clearly the champion of initiative.
You know, the last time the professor said that someone was good at a virtue, he ended up defeating the notorious surrender and stopping one of Dr. Opposite's villainous schemes. So...
No, Teresa, I'm not. I don't want to go play Dr. Opposite.
Then why are you here?
Because I'm the smart one. I'm the one who does the research and support, so you guys can go off and be her hero. I'm just a small and ordinary one.
But didn't you hear what I said yesterday? There is no such thing as an ordinary person.
Well, you got that right.
Wow! It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's...
Supermom! Faster. Being solvable, more powerful than a cell of Wegmans, and able to lead small minivans in a single bound. And I'm here to save the day.
Supermom, you know I always enjoy your visits, but what are you doing here?
I just told you. I'm here to save the day.
No, I think she means, why are you here?
Oh, that, yes. Well, I heard that you kids found a piece to Dr. Opposite's evil death ray gun, and I've come to collect it.
Actually, it's not a death ray, it's...
Hey, why do you need it?
You must be Jack. So precious.
Yeah, and I'm the one who got the TDM from Dr. Opposite's lair.
Oh, I know, Jack. And you could have gotten hurt. You should really be more careful. After all, you're just a little kid.
A little kid? Why, yo.
And I'm headed back to Dr. Opposite's hideaway later to defeat her once and for all. And I'd like to be taking that piece with me so that no harm comes to you kids.
Excuse me?
It's like the professor was saying. There is no such thing as an ordinary person, and I am no ordinary person. I am super fast, super strong, super smart, and a super shopper.
What does that have to do with...
You kids are such dears for wanting to help. You really, really are. But what? Oh, you could just get hurt. And you really should leave the fighting to us superheroes.
Yeah, like, that worked real well for a visible man.
Are you mouthing off to me, young man?
No, ma'am.
Then I'll be taking that piece and heading to Dr. Opposite's hideout to defeat her once and for all.
Actually, Sheldon will be going to Dr. Opposite's lair.
What? What?
Well, you see, Sheldon, you are the best man for the job, and we really need that information from Dr. Opposite's lair. We need you to go.
Him? But I'm Supermom. I can do anything. And no offense, but he's just a kid.
Maybe Supermom's right. Maybe you should let her go. I know that because Jesus defeated Dad, that we already know that we won, but still, I'm no hero material.
Listen, you are right. You may be bigger than you, but it's bigger than all of us. It's even bigger than Supermom. What Dr. Opposite is trying to achieve here is
What is it, Professor?
nothing. My point is, listen, I know a story about a very little boy, as it were, just like you, who changed the world. Would you like to hear that story?
Sure.
Story time? I like stories.
Melody, initiate storytelling sequence 2.
Right away, Professor.
Once, there was a land filled with sand. The sand swirled about in the land, creating a desert that was as wide as it was long. Out of this land rose a nation, ruled by a king named Pharaoh. This nation was enslaved by a group of people called the Israelites. The Israelites had been chosen by God, though, and so God rescued them from the desert and led them to the promised land. When they arrived at the promised land, they built a temple so that they could worship God. They also wrote a book containing God's laws so that they could better worship the Lord and God's ways. But then, none of the kings wanted to follow God's ways. The kings were ruling the nation, and it was good at first, but then not all the kings wanted to follow God's ways. God's ways can be hard, and some of the kings thought it might be easier to go their own way. The kings governed only for themselves, and so the people's lives became worse. The kings let the temple decay and fall apart, and so the people stopped worshiping God. The kings even lost the book that contained God's laws, and so the people began to forget God's ways. But then, one of the kings had a son named Josiah. Josiah's father died when he was only 8 years old, but that did not make Josiah a less person than his father. He became king, and he was much different. He worked hard. He had compassion. He was wise, and he took initiative. One day, Josiah saw that the temple had deteriorated, and he knew that it needed to be built up, and so he did it. Then, when they were restoring the temple, they saw the lost book that contained God's laws. Josiah put teachers on top of the temple walls to teach the people all of God's laws because he knew that that was what needed to be done. And so the people began to worship God again. They began to follow God's ways again. They even began to live better lives. And all because one king saw what needed to be done and did it. The end.
Wow.
That's an amazing story. And to think that it all started with a young person, just like us.
Indeed, King Josiah had great zeal. He saw what needed to be done, and he did it. He had initiative, a characteristic that I believe you also hold, Sheldon.
You?
Okay, that's it. That was a lovely story. And I'm sure that Josiah was a sweet young boy too. But that doesn't change anything. You kids are still too young to go chasing off after Dr. Opposite. And that's that. There's nothing you can do.
Okay.
No, don't listen to her.
I beg your pardon, Professor.
I don't know, Professor Alfred. Maybe you should let Supermom go. I'm big task for the person out there on the site, but this is bigger than me.
No, like I was saying before, this is bigger than you, but it's also bigger than me and even Supermom. You don't understand. What we are up against with Dr. Opposite, she's trying to achieve something that's...
Wait, what is it, Professor?
Never mind about that. What I'm trying to say is, Jesus is wisdom. Seek his truth.
Jesus is wisdom. Seek his truth. What does that mean?
It's what Josiah did. King Josiah understood that it takes great wisdom in order to tell the truth, to seek the truth, and of course, to know the truth. King Josiah understood this, and he saw the wisdom and the truth that was in God's book. And that's why we put the people on the kingdom's walls, in order to teach the people all about God and his laws. You see, Jesus, when we seek him, we even become more and more aware of the truth. And the truth that I know is this. You are the perfect person that we need to send to go find out more information about Dr. Opposite's plan.
Oh, come on.
Would you please be quiet?
Don't keep
Are you sure?
Seek his truth, Sheldon.
All right. Can I do this?
Yes.
I need to hear you more.
Yes.
All right, I think I can do it now. I can find out more about Dr. Opposite's plan.
Fantastic. You're so good on computers, I'm sure you'll figure out something.
Yes, excellent plan. All right, let me go brief you on today's issue.
Ooh, I know just what we're doing. They're orange too.
You do realize the scheme of yours is completely ridiculous. You children have no business chasing off after Dr. Opposite and rising up in the face of such insidious evil. That boy Sheldon is going to fall flat on his face and possibly get hurt.
Oh yeah? Well, maybe if you believed in him a little more, you'd have the confidence to do it. Maybe if you took him seriously, he'd blow way past your expectations.
I never.
That's right, you never. You never thought about the fact that kids like us might actually be able to help. Watch Sheldon prove you wrong, lady. Just watch.